it's Stephanie with Coffee Paper Scissors. I've been working very slowly in the journals. I don't know why, but just kind of hit a creative slump over the weekend. So I've gotten through one signature, mostly filled, and I started the second one and it was like the creativity just stopped. So I've been struggling a little bit. So I thought I'd show you what I've done so far. I added this little flip out and then a page from a, like one of those grocery lists or something. I added that there. I still need to add something at the top. I just don't know what yet. I made an envelope and added it here, and I used one of the printables and just added that down inside. Cut it to fit, and then I gave it a little place for the envelope to stick down in there. And then this is one of the, one of his things, Anton's things that I shrunk down. It comes bigger than this, but I shrunk it down myself, and I thought it would be cute to fussy cut around the main part of the image and then put it on a different piece of paper just for some, something different. And then I added a couple labels to it. And here is, another one of those, and I added a couple of just pieces of scrap paper and a tab and sewed around, a chipboard piece from Hobby Lobby. And then I added this today. So this was a struggle the other day to get, this stuff done. Excuse me. Today I'm hoping that my I don't know, my juices will keep flowing. I don't know. So I added this as kind of a flip down. I cut it, I cut the pages to make just a little flippy pad, but they stuck out, and I thought, well, why don't I leave them long like this and just fold them up and add, something, a little focal point here. And I thought that was something a little different than I would normally do. And I don't know, this is what I'm going to be working on right now. So I thought I would use just a little scrap from some of the things that I've been cutting off, to use here and there instead of using the full page. I have been taking bits and pieces. Now this was from this. Remember, I'm doing two journals. So in the other journal, I used a little bit darker, kind of a plum color, and it was leftover. So I thought it would be cute to do a, what are these called? I don't remember. It's a tuck spot just made from scraps. I don't know. Do they have a name? And, you just kind of layer things up and try and make something, cute and kind of scrappy looking, and at the same time use up your bits and pieces. So I just like to kind of put a line so I'm not guessing where to put my glue. You know what? I don't want to do that yet. I want to back this because this is just copy paper. So I found a piece of scrapbook paper that's been laying around and not being used for forever and a day, and I am just going to use it to reinforce this. I've been having teeth issues for quite some time now. I went to the dentist for my regular cleaning 6 months ago, and my dentist says, well, that crown that I did a while back, I've had so much work done in my mouth over the years. I have faulty teeth, you guys. They're just, I don't know. Everything I do, it doesn't work. So I have faulty teeth. Anyway, he did I had a root canal on it done way forever ago when I think it was before I had kids. And, it was fine, but the crowns, things like that, they kind of start to fail. And so he replaced the crown. And then, I don't remember when that was, but it wasn't that long ago. Okay, so I'm going to put glue here. Where I have my pencil mark is where I'm going to stop. He replaced the crown, and then he told me on my checkup about 6 months ago that it looked like the crown that he had put on wasn't good, and he was going to replace it for me for free. So he did that. He said, though, that I had another crown from a root canal that had been done at pretty much the same time as this other one. It was back a long time ago. That one looked like it also needed replacing. And so I was, going to have to pay for that one. Fun, but I have dental insurance, so all is good. I figure that's fine. And so he did it. I am going to use this, but I'm going to cut it down a little bit because I don't want it covered up that much. I want a little bit more of the background to show. So he did that. He replaced the first one. It all worked out fine. He replaced the second one, and it did not go well. I have been having trouble with that. It might finally be, fine, but there were 3 months that I kept going to him and telling him, this is not right. It didn't take. I can't chew on that side. I've been having trouble with it for so long. Very frustrating, you guys. And I just wasn't getting the help that I wanted. Finally, it was around Christmas time, I called the office and I said, this is ridiculous. I'm finished with this. My tooth looked at, it needs to be fixed. It had been months. They're like, oh, sometimes it takes a while. Like, well, it has never taken this long. Well, they were out of town for Christmas. And so they recommended that I go somewhere else. I'm like, yeah, you think? So, I'm very polite. You guys, I'm more polite than I should be. I don't think they would be as polite with me, But I'm very polite. I don't want to get in fights with anybody. And they recommended that I go to a specialist for root canals. They said, you're probably going to need one. Just go see this guy. I'm like, yeah, I don't really want you doing a root canal. Maybe that one hadn't had a root canal yet. It hadn't. You guys, I can't even remember. That one hadn't had a root canal yet. I have had 2, but one of them, one of the ones that he fixed had just been a crown, not a root canal. But the reason I was having so much trouble with it, I am taking this and I'm going to cut it in half because I'm going to use it on both sides of my little thing. I wish I could remember what they're called. It's going to be a tuck, and I feel like my story is not going well. I feel like I'm not telling it well. I don't remember things that well sometimes. Like, I know they happened, but in what order? Sometimes I'm not so good at that. Okay, we're going to put glue here. Anyway, it wasn't healing. He recommended I go to this other place. So I go in there and they're like, yes, it definitely needs a root canal. So he did that. Did you guys know that you can have a root canal done through a crown now? So he drilled through the root canal. He said, now it might be a problem that we crack the crown. And if it cracks the crown, then you will have to have a new crown put on it. He didn't crack the crown. I was so surprised at this. So the crown that was put on is fine. It's still there. And the root canal is good. And my tooth is finally healing. I can almost chew on that side of my mouth after it's been nearly 4 months now since the original work was done. So that's a relief. But now I'm having trouble with a tooth. And the far back on my right-hand side, it's just aching. So I hadn't found a new dentist yet. By the way, I decided I needed a new dentist. And I hadn't found one yet. So I Googled and I found one that's been recommended highly, in the area. So I went there this morning and I saw somebody, and they looked real good. They took x-rays. They could not find anything wrong. They said it looks good, but they're kind of wondering if the tooth he had worked on next to it has a problem deep down in there. So they're recommending that I go back to the guy who did the root canal a couple weeks ago to see if there's a problem now in this tooth as well. Even though it has had a root canal done on it, they're not sure that it didn't get jostled around and then cause a problem maybe with an infection. I'm like, oh goodness, please no. Please no. I need to get, okay, I don't want to do that yet because I'll just pause the video for that. This is one of the butterflies in the kit that's on something else. I don't remember what it's on, and I thought, oh, it was perfect for this, but I had printed it on thin paper, so I am going to glue it onto a little bit thicker paper to thicken it up a little bit, and we're going to use it as a little bit of decoration on this. But they did find other fillings that are failing, of course, but you know, I would rather have the work done than have it ignored, which was kind of happening at the other place until it was like a bigger problem. Oi, you know, I'm not a dentist, so I can't say that they were making wrong decisions, but it just felt like kind of weird. And I don't know, if something feels not right, I feel like we should go with our gut on that, right? I mean, what do you guys think? Again, very polite. I haven't said anything to the dentist who I am disappointed in. I'm switching. I don't need to cause a stink. I wish that, I don't know, I wish it had worked out differently, but. And so I explained to the new dentist some things, and they're like, well, it's probably a good idea that you switched over. I'm like, ugh, I know they can't say bad things, and I wasn't saying bad things. I was just trying to explain the situation. And I told them too, you know, I mean, I feel like this is what's supposed to happen when we're having exams and stuff like that, and none of those things were happening. And they're like, well, we will be doing that every time we examine your teeth. I'm like, interesting. So, I don't know. Anyway, I have to go back tomorrow for some fillings. So that's the fun I've been having. And I thought I better get a video done because I haven't done one in days. I tried. I had a hair appointment over the weekend, and I thought, you know what I'll do? I'll go and I'll hit a couple of thrift stores beforehand and video that and see if you guys wanted to see me shopping. And I videoed it, and I just deleted them because, I don't know, they just didn't seem like they turned out right to me. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a tab here. I have this paper, and I have this really old tab punch that I found at a yard sale, and it's broken and it's really loud, so I'm not going to do it with you guys. I have to do it upside down and push really hard or it won't work. But I really like this punch, so I keep it. I'm going to add that there. I'm going to do a little stitching down here, and then this is the image that I thought I would use under that. I think it goes really well with the colors. What do you guys think? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to the corners, I can't think of that word either, and then on the back I'm going to add a little bit of coffee dyed paper. So I'm going to do those things and come back so that you can see the finished product. Well, you guys, I glued it down, and I glued it down upside down. I meant for this to be over here, this to be on this side and this to be on this side, but it's okay. It doesn't look much different. This is upside down, but I think that's fine. I stitched around this. I added some coffee dyed paper on the back. So I think it looks really good as far as the color, you know, blend goes. And I wanted to add this butterfly. So I think we'll do that. And I'm going to give it, this stuff always makes such a mess. I'm just going to give it some tail. I don't know what to call these. You know, when it's, because butterflies don't have these, but shouldn't they? Wouldn't it be pretty if a butterfly is flying around with these things? And I actually like the way it looks. So I had glued the thinner paper onto the thicker paper, and so the butterfly wings are kind of curled up. I think that looks really cool. So we are going to add a dab of hot glue right in the center here. I need another glue stick in there. It's quite the dab, but it'll really hold on to that stuff, so that's good. Get all the way down to the paper. So then it looks like it has the antenna, however you say that, in plural form. And then some little things hanging out there at the bottom. Isn't that cute? So it's a good way to use up scraps, of course, because I was ending up with a few long scraps from cutting some pages. And I think that's all I have right now because, honestly, I don't know what I'm doing next. Other than I have this, and I think that it would look good on the pink. But I keep on using these in this way, and I don't know, is that boring? But I like it. And this, oh, I added that the other day. I don't know if I showed you that. This is some envelope that comes with this little stationery. I found it on Amazon forever ago. And you have to fold it a certain way for it to show the right way inside the envelope. But I thought that was kind of pretty. Yeah. Still have a lot to do in this signature. And I'm not quite sure what it's going to be. So yeah. I don't know. This is next. I'll come up with something. All right, you guys. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye.